I talked about being responsible to somebody, not for somebody. That's no more important than even with a child as a parent. And because parents are there to bring up your children, and that means bring them up to be adults. That's your job, to bring them up to be functioning, happy, loving, nurturing, adults. You're not there to make them an image of you, a mirror image of you. Then you're not there to create someone other than what you did when giving birth to them, if it was natural childbirth, or even in an adoption type situation. They are separate, functional human beings that, as they're growing up, the best thing you can do as a parent is to allow them to fail. It's difficult as a parent, really difficult to allow your child to fail. Or not even fail, but give them the opportunity to fail, or to prosper, or to experience triumphs. If you never let them have that opportunity, then you're not teaching them anything. You're teaching them to be dependent on you, and that's not healthy. Starting off even as a small child, it's important to allow your child to, of course, scale it with where they are in their development, right? But a child, maybe 5, wants to go climb a tree. Yeah, you have lots of fears as a parent. Oh my God, you're going to fall out of the tree. You're going to scrape your knee. You're going to get hurt. You're going to break your neck. All these things go through your head. Like, oh my God, and they're your issues, and not the child's issues. They're your issues. It's what's going on through your head. The child just sees exploration. They see, wow, wonderment. They see the joy of life. You got to let them do it. Of course, don't use your head too, right? But you have to let them climb that tree. If you wanted to look at this figuratively or literally, you have to let them climb a tree, or else they're never ever going to learn the lessons that they need to in life. And that tree follows them throughout their lives. There's always going to be a tree that they're going to want to climb as they grow up. There's always going to be something else that they want to do, that they want to learn, that they want to explore. And as they get older, that's going to get more and more, in a way, dangerous, because they'll eventually be out on their own, and you can't protect them anymore. Play dates if you want. They're maybe they're with other parents and things like that. You may be familiar with, but still they're out of your direct control. But that's necessary for them to grow. It's necessary for human beings to explore and to advance and to learn and to. It's just so critical. And then as they get older, they experience their tree becomes a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and then a car, and then college and whatever. But they never stop being your children. But there's a point where you're responsible to them, not for them any longer. That can be, I guess, legally, most places 18, but even, from a legal standpoint, sometimes a little bit earlier, but definitely at 18. And you have to make a switch, and it's very difficult as a parent, from being a parent who, you have to allow them to become an adult. You have to, or else they will live in your house forever. They'll live in your basement. Do you want them to come back in your basement? No, you don't. You don't want them to live in your basement. There are so many adult children that are coming back and living in basements. We don't want that. We want a functional society they can learn to stand on their own 2 feet. And that's important for you as well as for them, because you need that distance as well after being a parent. So it's very, very healthy for children, adult children, they're still your children, to go off and explore. And I'm experiencing that right now with mine. She's away from me right now, and it's weird. It's very weird because it's the first time. So I'm going through that. I've always kind of parented her, for the most part, from a standpoint of allowing her to fail or allowing her to explore. And sometimes actually with her, she's been more resistant to going out and doing new things. So I've actually had to kick her in the butt sometimes, a lot of times, to try new things. But that's really important to do, to know, I guess, who your child is too as well. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on with me today and that's what I was thinking about, is because I'm experiencing it, is another piece of another type of relationship where you become responsible to somebody, your child, but not for them. So they get to a point where they're driving. For instance, mine just had a fender bender. And, okay, I could have gone in and, had her, I don't know, I could have made it easy for her, I guess. It wasn't a big thing, but it was important for her to experience the repercussions of her actions. So that was important. And I think they call that adulting now. I don't really like that term because it's like, what, adulting? What does that mean? I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. It's just another weird term. But if you want to call it adulting, whatever. Practicing to be an adult, sure. But it's really, really important, critical thing for children and then adult children to grow up. They got to get the hell out of the nest, at some point. And what you can do to support them is to be encouraging, to guide them, give them advice if they want it. And if you've had this type of relationship with them all along, then they will come back to you for advice. They will come back to you if they have issues or if they have problems or if they, so they will look for your advice. And you still have to be a parent, though, which is kind of weird in a way. Well, you're always going to be a parent. Always going to be a parent. Even my dad, I'm 50-something years old. My dad's in his 70s. He's still my dad, Like, the car breaks and it's like, oh, geez, I don't know. Call up my dad. Hey, Dad, what do you think about this? Kind of thing. You're still a parent that never, ever goes away. So you always have that parental childhood bond. And it's not just biological, because mine is adopted, and I have that bond with her. So it's just something you develop with this unique human being that you've brought up into this, either brought up into this world or brought up through this world to be an adult. So yeah, and the other things that you can do as they become adults, the piece about being responsible to them and not for them, is, again, allowing them, as they become adults, is to let them make their own decisions. Even though in your heart you know that, well, you feel that, like, that's not quite the best thing, I don't necessarily would do that, but they're going to do what they're going to do anyway. So you just give them the best advice you can and let them go. That's what you got to do. So that's about it. That's all I want to talk about, is that other aspect of relationships, where the parental and the child relationship, it's just as important with a child to be responsible to them and not for them, especially at a certain age when they get older, like 18 or so, because they gotta spread their wings, guys, or else they never will. If you never give them the opportunity to fail, then they never can succeed. That's that polar opposite thing again. There's success and there's failure. It's the same exact thing. So thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you like it or not, or let me know your perspective. All right, you have a great night. And anybody who sees this on the replay, let me know what you think. If you have any ideas for future videos, if this was helpful, like, heart, respond, say something, and I will keep doing them. Have a great night. Bye.